conversation occurred?
What other conversations occurred?
But you know, films exist in the heads of the viewers, so it's totally pointless to ask us, what we think about the film. I mean, it's a weird thing about film. It's like some kind of crooked mirror that everyone kind of discovers for themselves, apart from the director and the actors, who have like a black hole. You know, we've worked on it. It made sense. It didn't make sense. It kind of came together as best we could do it. But it's all about your imagination. You know, how it affects you, what it does to you. You stayed here, which is a good sign.
Yes, and I'm sure the audience has many questions, so I'd like to open the floor for some questions. Do we have any in the balcony? You can just yell out your question. It's hard for us to see.
I got a question.
Yes.
When you're working with a story of this nature, what do you communicate to the actor before you guys actually start filming? How much discussion is there about your character? You said how much do you want to know from the director about what this film is all about? Are you sort of interpreting a lot yourself?
I'll start. Yeah. That's a really good question. Movie becomes... It was so strangely personal to the two of us, at least, and probably to more people in the film. We kind of made it up as we went along. Working off a theme, of course. I don't know how to answer that. That's a very good question. A lot of it stemmed from, I remember when we first, Pavel and I first met, the microphone seems to work kind of, and then it doesn't. It makes me feel like I'm speaking in rap or something. Figuring out the movie as a performer, it'd probably be the same. It probably has to do with me. Figuring out, as a performer, I feel one of your major jobs is to try to figure out the movie that the filmmaker wants to make. What it is that they're really working towards, and what the themes of the movie are, and how to... I kind of equate it to being the bass player to a lead singer in a band or something. You know, you're trying to make the vision complete and trying to keep the rhythm and trying to be part of a band together, and at the same time make it personal to you and make it part of, something that you might be able to contribute. And where those two things meet becomes the performance in the movie. How's that?
Yeah, I totally approve. But it wasn't made along, it wasn't exactly, we didn't do it as we went along. There was some science behind it, of course. But it was things that were close to us. Love, death, children, basic themes. We had heavy themes, which we were all kind of there. And the character, I think he made sense. It was a very solipsistic film. It all kind of happens in his head. Not all of it, but a lot of it. So there's a kind of coherence there. But I think it's subjects which are close to me. And usually I make films that are about stuff that happens to be on my mind at the time. So a lot of this had to do with this kind of conflict between work, fatherhood, love, the impossibility to reconcile all these things, or to make decisions, and how if you don't make a decision you kind of go under. I mean, thematically it's very rich. I'm not sure it's all there on the screen, but we work from a kind of very rich mix of themes. And also I put a lot of things I liked in the film. Actors I liked, landscapes I liked, music I liked. So there's a kind of strange sculpture, from themes, emotions, motifs, and from great elements. And one of the great elements is standing here.
next question, right here.
Hi, I was wondering if you could talk a little more about the significance of the bugs, the symbolic significance of the bugs and the green tinge of the forest.
So the significance of the bugs in the film and the forest.
I thought it would be interesting to have something interesting for everyone, you know. They're interested in that kind of stuff. Especially in Britain, people like nature. It has something. I mean, there's no kind of literal explanation of this stuff. What did it do? I'm just curious. I threw it in.
What's the answer for the question?
Well, the bluish forest, I don't know if it's more, it was a happy place, but not really. It just seemed like the bugs kind of seemed like the mental state. I guess not people.
I don't know what it means to Pablo, but
The bugs. You know, he didn't have the scene with the bugs.
I didn't work with any bugs.
That's why
I'm trying
to explain them.
Except for there's the birds in the drawings and the bug crawling across the birds. That was my favorite bug work. It begs the question of what bugs and birds, how they relate to each other, and there's a very deep and significant meaning behind that I think that if I go into now, I'll seem even more pretentious than I actually am.
Something in the character, clearly, you know, that we expressed it in a kind of literal way.
Yes, right here, sir. Thank you.
Me?
Yes, you.
Ethan, I find you completely captivating in every role I've ever seen you in.
Thank you.
And I just wonder, you write and you direct and you do all kinds of stuff. Is it difficult to flip back and forth, or how do you see your career? Like, you know, do you want to act
How do you
forever
see your
and a day,
career,
or-
Ethan? Is the question.
Progressing, I guess, is what I
Directing.
mean.
You know, the truth is that I find that sometimes I think that if I had picked one thing and really tried to stick with it, I might actually be really good at it. But that's one voice in my head. But the other voice between writing and directing and acting is trying to stay close to whatever that flame of creativity is, and not letting my career ever be a professional one. And let it really does sound corny. The older I get, the more I'm able to pull it off. But it's really about love, you know, that if so many people get that taken away from them, the joy of creativity, it's, you know, either crushed by our parents or forces, or it's turned into something really commercial, something to be sold. And sometimes I like to direct because I want to be creative without any kind of pretense of being a professional at it. And then when I come back to acting, it's so exciting. I think you can even tell in the limited time that you've gotten to hear Pablo speak how much fun it would be to be on the set with him. The way that he thinks about cinema and art and life. And it was really fun to work on that sculpture with him and to be an element of it. And, you know, I watch this movie and sometimes I can't really see the movie because I think so much about the process of what it is and actors I've worked with that inspired me. Like, sometimes I would hear something Pavel wanted and I would think, God, I had just worked with Laurie Metcalf, an actress, and thought, she would do something that Pavel would love. What would it be like? And that would, it just kind of keeps it all so fresh, you know? And writing does the same thing. I think if actors, a lot of actors write, a tremendous amount of actors write, and it helps you. Acting is an interpretive art. It's trying to take a piece of writing and sharing it with people. This is a really great line. Listen to this. You know, this is what it means. And if you try to write yourself and you realize how hard that is, and it creates a respect inside yourself for it, you know, and it all hopefully could feed itself. That's what little thinking there is behind